Hello members, this is Mike, AFA6KO, and this is my QTH. Well, it didn't take very long to outgrow the table that my wife designed for me. The bottom is oak and the top is Key West Gold granite, weighs about 500 pounds. Well, my wife knew that I've always wanted racks, so she thought that this would be a good time to get that equipment off the table and put it all in racks. The first step was to draw up plans, try to figure out how many shelves we needed and actually how many racks, so I ended up with two. Drove up to Rack Mount Solutions in Northeast Dallas. They're very helpful. Picked out everything we needed, loaded up the pickup, and headed for home. Then spent 2 days, apparently some assembly required. The Dragon 7800 is the latest edition and works very nice. I use it most of the time when I want to connect to AFB6AR or AFB6TX. Here's the control head for the remote manual tuner. The two counters on the bottom are for the input and output capacitors, and the top left counter is for the roller inductor. Actually, two roller inductors in parallel. This is the top view of the coupler. We have two 10 to 1000 picofarad capacitors, the two Pitman motors, and the limit switches are also visible in there. In a few days I'll take the disassembly coupler and we'll add to this presentation the two roller inductors in parallel. This is my favorite coupler design. It's a balanced pi network, 10 to 1000 picofarad on the input, 10 to 1000 on the output, and probably about 28 microhenries total on the inductors. However, when they're in parallel, you end up with about 14. Now, the purpose of this fixture is to zero in on settings so I can get my approximate capacitance and inductances, so that when I go back to the remote manual tuner, I have an idea of starting points. As you could imagine, there's probably quite a few different combinations to start out trying, but after working with this since 1990, I got it down pretty well as to where to put the settings. When that last front moved through, we had quite a bit of lightning, and I suspect that EMP took out my three optical encoders on the three motors, and this is the start of trying to problem solve the issue. And there you go. Same setup as on the previous motor, which was the GM9434 Juliet. So the same issue is happening to three motors on this coupler. Well, fortunately I have three extra motors, so I'll change those out. And when the new optical encoders come, I'll repair them and just set them on the shelf in case this happens again. Here are the two dipoles. One is cut for about 3 megahertz and the other one's cut for about 7 megahertz. The system is fed with about 150 feet of bounce line up to that remote manual coupler. The reason for the two wires is I found it a little bit easier to find matching solutions for all the different Mars frequencies that we operate. So it's been pretty good. The only downside is when the bounce line gets wet. That's why I'm replacing it with the 600 ohm line. This is the Tar Heel Model 200. It's been a pretty nice antenna. It's on a pretty heavy duty tripod, which I can push up to about 10 feet. The antenna has 10 32-foot radials. The radials are 1/8 inch diameter stainless steel aircraft cable, which I had left over from another project. This is the antenna that I'm going to put on the Rowan 25G for a backup. After I mount the Tar Heel antenna, I'll just guide the 12 feet of tower and try it out for a while, make sure that I like it, and then we'll put in a slab and mount it next to the house. I moved one of the racks out to our 16 by 20 building we have out in the backyard. Set up a remote station out there to play with. In the foreground there you see a little tripod, which is my newest purchase, and what I'll do is put that HiQ antenna on that, and it's low enough where I can just set it in a room or in a back porch or wherever, and it'll probably end up to be the Go Box antenna. Very easy to assemble and move around. In this shot I'm replacing the transformer with a new hypercell under the watchful eye of the station manager. I think she sees a problem. Yes, Bell Kitty, we need to attach the high voltage lines. Thanks for your help. Well, today I had an opportunity to install the 600 ohm line. Apex is at about 24 feet, and the flagpole in the background is 35 foot. I can always drop the flag and pull up the other dipole if I need it during emergencies, so that's plan B for for the flagpole. This is a shot down the fence line. You can see the standoffs that the 600 ohm line is attached to. There's also 450 ohm line going out to the V antenna. That's toward the back of me, which is another 100 feet to the end of the lot. Well, here's the favorite fixture, favorite antenna coupler in action. You can see the SWRs down there pretty well. The left capacitor is set at about 0 capacitance, and the right one is probably around 400-450 picofarad. And I have the most minimal inductance tapped in there. I'm not really sure what it is. I'll have to look at it later. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun doing it. I spent about 8 or 9 hours today working through this on a Mac. I'm pretty competent on the PC, but this is the first time I tried Camtasia on the Mac, so it took quite a while. That's Mike, AFA6KO. If you have any comments or recommendations, suggestions on anything, please send me a note.